All right, guys, thank you again for joining us for another episode of our Zoom cast, C2F, that's Concept of Fashion. We're here with another great and inspiring creative power team over here. So I'm just going to let them tell you who they are and we'll jump right in.
Hello, everybody. My name is Michele Bizzi. I'm a director from the Milan-based house, creative house, Chine Dimore.
Hi, everybody. I'm Claudia di Lascia, and I'm the executive producer and creative producer of Chine Dimore.
So our Chine Dimore is Chine Dimore is a production company and creative studio, as I said, based in Milan, and we mostly work on commercials, short films, documentaries, and fashion films.
Awesome. Yeah, and honestly, we're gonna try and get some links up too, so that our viewers can actually go and check out some things because they do have great work, people. So I'm excited for you to see that. Now, first and foremost, I know that 2020 has been a crazy year for everybody. I'm curious, how have you guys been navigating through that?
Ooh.
Well, even if the 2020 is a very hard year for everybody, I think it's a lucky year for us, for Chine Dimore, because while we were during the lockdown, and in Italy it was a very, we were the first place in the world that we have experienced this lockdown, but we were post-producing a feature film, a documentary feature film, and a short film, which now we are distributing. So we were very lucky because we didn't have time to be boring. You know what I mean? During this lockdown, we were worried about work. We were worried about the production, what's going on over there, because the commercial and the fashion film just stopped. Everything just stopped in a while. But we were very creative. We didn't think about the world of creative and the film fashion film or the film industry will die. Because we were producing during the lockdown.
Yeah, I agree. I guess we were, because people were like scared about what was coming up next after the lockdown, but we have been working so hard during the lockdown that we kind of assumed that everything was going to be fine later. I have to say our year started off with big commercials traveling the world. So the first thing that felt like really bad was not being able to travel, honestly. But we shot some commercial works and some of our own projects, and we had to post-produce and edit all those projects during the lockdown.
Wow.
So it was cool. One of these projects, by the way, was also partially financed by the Italian government. You know, in Europe, filmmaking is very often backed by public funds. And we got some of those, and so luckily we had the time to kind of get deeper into that and make sure that all the papers were correct to finish that short film, to get the money and all those things, which was gonna be hard to do if we had to work as we did before. So somehow the lockdown kind of helped to kind of settle for a second, just finish our own projects, take the time to do everything properly. And then 2 months later, we were back to life.
That's actually perfect how that worked out for you guys. I really am glad to hear that too. Yes. I'm sure it gave you a lot of time too to come up with some ideas to keep working in the future. So I'm extra excited to see what you guys come up with. So another thing, I want to really congratulate you guys as well too. And we were talking a little bit earlier, but definitely fingers crossed for your nomination in the Young Director Award.
Yeah, it's
so tell us a little bit about the piece that you submitted.
You want to talk about it, or I want to introduce it?
Oh, well, first, let me just introduce it. And
yes.
This is a short film indeed that was partially backed by the government. And I'm very happy because it was written by Claudia here, so she will tell you what it is about. And when I read the script, I felt it was great. It had potential. It was kind of in between a short film, but with a very aesthetic approach. And we specialize in commercial because we're based in Milan. It's where they shoot commercials in Italy. So I kind of felt it was good for both languages. And I honestly, I wanted Claudia to direct it with me. I felt it was a nice thing to do for me to direct it, but I wanted to do it together because it felt like it came from her own heart. And that's why now she is going to tell you what it's about.
Yes, I mean, it's a short movie, and it's a short that tells about it's against violence against women. So it's a simple story, and it's called Going Down Alone. And we are in a place. We are in a metaphorical elevator, and we see in this elevator different ages, different women that are abused in a physical or psychological abuse by the men that they have met during their life. So it's a theatrical short. It's a fiction, of course, and a drama short. You don't see the violence. You don't see nothing very violent in it.
But you can feel it because everything is from a POV shot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see.
It was very difficult to structure the short. That's why we worked a lot in pre-production, and every single department was involved, was asked to give their contribution during the pre-production. So the cinematography goes with the set design of the elevator. Everything changes all around her. So the elevators come from the cold temperature and goes to the gold temperature, while the women goes to the youngest age. Because at the end you see this little girl at the end of the journey during the elevator, and the claim, I would say the claim of the film is that you can
it's that basically it's like we see so many episodes of violence as our protagonist becomes younger and younger until we see two kids, and our protagonist is a little girl, and that's when there's sort of an explanation. If you consider it as a commercial, you would say it's a claim, but it also, as a short film, is just a sentence that we put at the end of it. It's that consent is learned from an early age. So as long as men
powerful.
Are not treating women well, starting from when they are little children, then the things can become wrong and wrong in their life. But everything is narrated backwards.
And I'm very proud because we had the contribution, the collaboration and sponsorship with Women in Film International from America, and Women in Film and International, Women in Film Italia, which is based in Rome. And we worked with a lot of very, very, very good professionals in it. So it's a short movie, but it's very, it has a very production value. You know what I mean?
Yes. That honestly sounds very, very powerful, honestly. I'm excited to see something like that too. And I feel like that's something in this time that is so, so needed. Just to get the more exposure you can put towards all of these atrocities that are really happening throughout the world, the better I feel like we can try to tackle it. So I'm really glad to hear that.
Well, I have to say that recently our personal project, our projects, our entertainment projects are going to a social direction. So we're trying to every time tell a story. We started last year with a fashion film called Princess, which is about a girl with Down syndrome. We have shot several documentaries about people with disabilities. And then this time we wanted to talk about violence against women. So it's kind of a path that we're starting to walk through right now. And hopefully it's going to lead to meaningful films. I mean, because we do so much fashion that sometimes you really feel you also want to add something important around it. Yeah.
Well, seeing how you guys work so closely together with this, it seems like the perfect time to kind of ask, where would you say your own individual creative journeys cross paths?
Well, I mean, no, it's hard to think about it. We went to college together, to university in Milan, and I guess we both were very proactive. We tried to do many things beyond what was just needed for university. So we used to, shoot and do competitions, and sometimes we helped each other. We created a group of people to work with, and we actually started really working together before even we graduated.
Well, we like to cross ideas. We like to cross the interaction between what he thought, what I think about what he thought. I mean, we work very, very much together because we are always in development. We think about something, then we just wait a little bit, and then something jumps in my mind connected to his idea, and I give him some ideas back. So it's a very, I mean, we like the process. We love the process, the present process. But I can't say you around where it comes from. I don't know, because sometimes I go in the underground, I see a little scene, and it jumps in my mind an idea for a short movie. Or this time I was in the elevator, I was in an hotel elevator, and there was a guy, I mean, a strange guy behind me, and I felt that kind of claustrophobia in that elevator. And I didn't think about the short movie, but after a while, reading this call, this public call, just the idea jumped into my mind, and I said, Michele, what do you think about this idea? And he told me, it's incredible, please write it down. And I just I wrote it down in, I think in a night, in 2 hours. And then the next day, Michele came to me and say, okay, what do you think about to make this together? I would like to co-direct it with you. And I just think it could be great to make it from her point of view. So put another another level of difficult sometimes, but we very like to hide the difficult level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we want to make it every time, try to make it more and more difficult. Yeah. I have to say, you know, they say that there is a process inside a creative person's mind when sometimes you feel excited because you have new ideas. Sometimes you hate your own ideas. Sometimes you need to motivate yourself. I think these all different processes are happening instead of our minds, are happening from one another. I mean, if one of us is not sure about his or her own idea, the other person is motivating him, her. I mean, we do that to each other. And if somebody has an idea that's kind of okay, the other will be the first one to criticize. So we try to help each other to improve every time and do things better every time.
That's the perfect collaboration.
We also say each other, this is a bad idea. Don't waste your time. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of fighting in the process, but we get where we want eventually.
Yeah, you get the end result. That's all that matters, right?
Yes, because I'm a producer, he's a director, so the visual, I can say this stuff too much, we can upload it, and you say, I will love it because it's a creative idea, and I will go for it. And I'm always, I'm the balanced one. I think I'm the good cop, the bad cop, and he's the good cop.
That's funny. So I know that you guys have mentioned you've been extremely busy and very productive. So what's that next journey for you? What would you say is the next project?
Well, I have to say, our own projects are still going through the festival circuit. This one, beginning with the YDA, but also other short films are now being accepted into festivals. So that's what we're pushing so far. I have to say that from a business point of view, we are shooting a lot of commercials right now, still fashion. It's wonderful. We feel blessed that because the film industry is not strong in Milan, as I said, but we do a lot of commercials, and yet there's a lot of competition, so it's hard to work for big brands. But I have to say that recently we have just shot another campaign for a very big brand, and we feel that we're kind of getting where we want. And so from that point of view, we are very happy with where we're going.
We have opened Kina Dimora distribution.
Yeah, on the other side, we are now a distribution company also.
And we have two serious projects in development. One is a documentary project we are pitching during in the market, and the other one is a fiction series. And they are very different projects, but that kind of project needs a little bit more time, because you have to collect and to finish the budget and to finish a financial plan. for a series
Mhm.
that costs around 8 million. The series.
Yeah.
I mean, it's much more difficult because we are searching for co-producers and we are pitching the project in the market.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that we are trying to put ourselves into the entertainment market. And so we're trying to go to markets and pitch our own ideas and find co-producers for, big series or big documentaries, which is very hard to do. So, because we're satisfied about everything that's commercial, and now we're trying to,
Yes.
do more filmmaking.
All right. So I want to do a little fun game with you guys. I want to do a short little section that I like to call like a lightning round. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go back and forth. I'll start with Michele, and then we'll go to Claudia, and then we'll go back and forth. I'm going to ask you guys one question each, and then try to answer it in as little time as possible. You ready?
Okay.
All right. So,
Yeah.
like I said, Michele, we'll start with you. So, first question. If there's any place in the world that you can be right now, where would it be?
I think I would, any beach. I want to be on the beach right now. The lockdown is making me feel like I can't travel, and I've been working so hard. I really want to relax on a beach. Can be
Okay.
California or Bali or anywhere on any island. It's okay.
All right. Now, Claudia, tell me, what is your favorite anything to pull inspiration from?
Talk with crazy people.
You can get a lot of inspiration, huh?
Yeah. I mean, be without control. I don't know. Talk without control.
All right, I like it. Michele, which director, if given the chance, would you bring back to life to work with?
Oh, that's hard. Okay, no, I mean, yes. So I'm gonna be kind of obvious here, but I'll tell you why. I'd say Stanley Kubrick. But just, I know, yeah, like he's great and everybody agrees generally, but I have to say, it's just that I love to do projects of different kinds, and he was able to master any genre he tried to shoot. And that's why. So I would like to ask him, what's the secret of understanding so quickly when you jump from one genre to the other? So that's why.
All right. Yeah, I can see that. All right, last question, Claudia, it's on you. What would you say is one of your guilty pleasures?
Guilty pleasure. After stressful work, after a stressful day, I love to dance while cooking. I love cooking. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love to dance, also silly dancing. Yeah, while cooking. All
right.
Yeah.
Which becomes my guilty pleasure because then I get to eat a lot. So.
That's a 2-for-1 right there.
South of Italy, so cooking is my relaxing time.
Yeah, and I can only imagine. So, do you have a favorite meal? What would you say your favorite meal is to cook?
I don't know how to translate it, but it's a very difficult one. Riso, patate, and calze, which is rice with the
potatoes and mussels.
In the oven.
Yeah,
well,
it takes
if we
3 days to prepare. It's very complex.
Yeah, it takes 3 days.
Oh wow! So that's like that's like a when you're really celebrating something kind of meal.
Yeah, production of 3 days. Yes, when I have a weekend.
So, guys, I really appreciate you coming back and talking with us again. But lastly, do you feel like are there any unspoken words that you'd like to get out to the audience before we go?
Don't lose creativity, and never think about the cinema or audiovisual will die, because it will not. We need storytelling. We are made of storytelling, so we need to be connected. And this lockdown and this COVID thing, I think that what we've learned is that we need to be connected to each other, because we are.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true, and that's powerful. So I want to say thank you again. Lastly, before we let you go, where can our viewers find most of your stuff? Are you on most social platforms?
Yes, I mean, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram.
Of course, we have a website.
Yeah, I think on our website you see most of the work that we can publish. Sometimes we have to wait before we can publish also the commercial works.
Yeah.
And for our films, all the trailers are on our website, trailers behind the scenes, some cool stuff about it. We generally do not publish the whole film, usually, because they're still part of I mean, we're still selling those to distributors. But on our website, which is www.kinedimore, which is really hard to spell, it's spelled with a K and with A-E at the end, so it's kinedimore.com.
But if you go on Instagram, you will find all the updates. So official selections, stories, we are updating our Instagram every day.
All right, and we'll make sure to put the links down below so you guys can check them out. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed too for your Young Directors Award, and we definitely look forward to seeing you guys again in the future. I do want to say, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We do want you guys to stay up to date, and don't worry because we have plenty of material for you guys. So we're gonna let our friends go. Thank you for joining us again, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very much.